In 1985, firefighters across Britain started noticing something strange. House after house burned down to almost nothing. Furniture, walls, photographs, all gone. But in the wreckage, one thing kept surviving, completely untouched by the flames. A cheap, mass-produced painting of a crying boy. Not one house, dozens of them. And once one newspaper noticed the pattern, the story exploded. People started calling it cursed. They said the painter had used a real orphan as his model, and that the boy's grief and rage had somehow soaked into every copy of the painting ever printed. Families who owned one started burning them on purpose, just to be safe. Fire departments told people to throw them out. It became one of the most famous cursed paintings in modern history. But here's the part almost no one followed up on. The paintings weren't rare or handmade. They were cheap, mass-produced prints sold in department stores across Europe by the millions, which means thousands of houses had the exact same painting hanging on the wall, completely by chance. And when a house full of ordinary furniture burns, in a fire hot enough to destroy almost everything, the print survives because of something much less mysterious than a curse. The boards these paintings were printed on had been treated with a fire-resistant varnish, standard for the era, which meant they could smolder and scorch without fully igniting, while the wood furniture around them burned completely. Add in one more thing. Once a story like this gets national coverage, people start noticing the crying boy specifically, because they're now looking for it. Nobody wrote in about the surviving lampshade, or the surviving mirror, or the countertop that didn't burn either. This is a pattern that shows up again and again throughout history. Cursed objects almost never turn out to be supernatural. They turn out to be statistics combined with a story too good to fact-check. Take another famous case. In the early 2000s, a couple listed a painting on eBay called The Hands Resist Him. It showed a boy and a doll standing in front of a glass door, and the sellers claimed that people who looked at the photo online reported feeling sick, that the figures seemed to move between screenshots, that children were afraid to be in the room with it. The listing went viral. Thousands of people were convinced they'd seen the boy's hand shift position overnight. But no one ever produced two photos taken at different times that actually proved it. What actually spread wasn't the painting. It was the idea of the painting. Once you're told a picture is haunted, your brain starts doing something it's very good at. Finding patterns in noise. Seeing motion in stillness. Because for most of human history, assuming a shadow might be a predator kept you alive. That instinct never turned off. It just doesn't have enough dangerous animals to worry about anymore. So it goes looking for something else to apply itself to. A painting with sad eyes that seemed to follow you around the room. A print that happened to survive a fire. Psychologists have a name for part of this. Pareidolia, the tendency to see faces, intent, and meaning in patterns that have none. It's the same reason you see a face in a wall socket or a scowl in the front grille of a car. Add a tragic backstory. Repeat it enough times, and pareidolia turns into folklore. The truth is, almost every cursed painting has the exact same ingredients. A striking, uncomfortable image, a vague, unverifiable story about the artist's life, usually involving grief, death, or a model who suffered, and one coincidence that gets repeated so often it starts to feel like a pattern, instead of what it actually is. Thousands of ordinary events happening at once, with only the strange ones making it into the story. We don't remember the calm houses. We remember the one photo that felt wrong. Not because the painting did anything, but because we were built, across millions of years, to notice the one thing that might be dangerous and never the thousand things that weren't. The paint never held. A curse. Your brain supplied it, for free, the moment someone told you to be afraid.